Archangel Michael says, watch this message to the last. It contains something crucial for you. The atmosphere around you is heavy because something has been concealed in silence. A woman you know well carries a hidden truth within her body, and though her face appears calm, her steps carry the weight of deception. What she is hiding is not small, for the very root of it ties to your destiny, and the reason behind this concealment has the power to shake your soul to its core. There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words, and this is one of them. The silence around her is not innocence but calculation, not protection but manipulation. She is holding her breath, hoping the truth will not surface, but heaven has already recorded it, and what is hidden will not remain hidden much longer. Her pregnancy is not only of the body but of a secret, and the way she carries it is a warning sign written across her soul. Every step she takes is guided by fear and self-preservation, for she knows that when the truth comes out, everything around her will shift and break. You must understand, the silence is designed to delay you, to weaken your spirit, and to blind you to what is unfolding right in front of you. This is not about a stranger but about a known woman, someone you would not expect to act this way. That is why it carries such power to wound, because betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from a hand once trusted. The truth is crawling closer to your awareness, and the heavens are pressing you to be awake, because the revelation is almost at your door. Type Amen 393 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, this woman has created a veil of deception thicker than you can imagine. She believes that by concealing her state, she can control outcomes, decisions, and even your destiny. She walks with a mask of normalcy, but within her every choice is woven with the threads of fear, shame, and a desperate attempt to protect something she knows will not stand the light of truth. Her secrecy is not a shield of innocence, it is a strategy. She is terrified that you will uncover the real reason behind this hidden pregnancy, because the story attached to it is more dangerous than the act of concealing itself. The reason is so profound that when it falls into your hands, your soul will not only shake but also awaken to see connections you could never imagine before. You are standing at the edge of a revelation. Each day, heaven is peeling back the covering, showing fragments, signs, and unusual patterns around her behavior. She is careful, but her caution is already cracking, and when the silence finally shatters, you will see that this is not just about her body but about the web of power, betrayal, and hidden ties she has wrapped herself into. Even now, heaven whispers that the hidden truth has been preserved, and you will not be left in ignorance. You will not be mocked by shadows, nor left blind in the presence of betrayal. What she thought would remain buried will be exposed, and it will change the course of your path. Type Amen 3993 to receive the divine blessing. Her actions are not only about herself but about forces that surround her, for she is entangled with influences that do not wish for you to rise. They are using her as a vessel to cover up their agenda, to shift destiny in their favor, to take something that was never theirs to claim. That is why she hides, not out of shame alone but out of fear of the larger truth that would burst wide open if you knew. She walks like she is carrying only a secret, but it is more than that, it is a burden of choices made in darkness. These choices are heavy, dangerous, and tied to plans that stretch beyond her own desires. She is both a participant and a pawn, caught in a cycle where her silence keeps you from realizing what is being built behind your back. You may already feel the weight of suspicion around her. The tension in the air, the strange shifts in her actions, the moments that do not add up, all of this is the fabric of the hidden truth pressing against the edges of revelation. The divine has placed these signs before you because heaven wants you prepared, not broken, when the full truth falls. Do not take this lightly, for her silence is her weapon, and the hidden life within her body is the proof that she has concealed something designed to shake your soul. Heaven's hand is already stirring, ready to strip away her mask and bring you face to face with the reality she has been desperate to hide. Type Amen 993 to receive the divine blessing. Her secret is not just about new life, it is about betrayal, about chains of deception, about a plot that tried to keep you blind while she maneuvered in shadows. That is why the revelation will carry such force, because it is not simply news, it is evidence of hidden intentions. The truth of her pregnancy is tied to matters of trust, loyalty, and destiny, and once it is revealed, the connections will unfold like thunder across your spirit. Every delay in her confession is costing her peace. She cannot escape the eyes of heaven, though she moves as if the truth can remain covered by silence. Her silence may fool others, but it cannot fool the spirit realm, and now the season has come when heaven insists that what is hidden be revealed. Even in her attempts to act ordinary, her aura trembles with fear, for she knows the day of exposure draws close. The longer she conceals it, the heavier the weight grows on her shoulders, and the deeper the impact will be when the truth falls into your lap. The divine has already written it, no secret of this magnitude will remain buried. This message is not to frighten you but to prepare you, for the shock will ripple through every part of your being. When the revelation comes, it will feel like the ground shaking beneath your feet, but know that the divine is allowing this for your protection, your clarity, and your liberation. Type Amen 97 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, the divine realm has already seen how much you trusted this woman and how deeply you may feel betrayed when the truth emerges. She has been smiling in front of you, speaking words meant to calm, yet her spirit trembles because of the secret she carries. It is not just that she is pregnant, but the circumstances of that pregnancy hold a weight that will shake you when it falls into your awareness. There is no hiding from heaven, for what is written in the unseen always comes to light at its appointed time. She thought she could carry this secret long enough for you never to connect the dots, but the truth has a way of cracking through walls. You are standing at the edge of that revelation now, and though the shock will be heavy, the clarity will free you from webs meant to trap your destiny. Each step she takes closer to you is layered with fear, because the more you sense, the more fragile her mask becomes. She rehearses her words, plans her actions, and hides her emotions, but no mask can withstand the fire of divine truth. When heaven uncovers what has been concealed, you will see not only her secret but also the chain of choices that brought her here. Type Amen 717 to receive divine blessing. The reason behind her concealment is not simple, it is deeply tied to motives, fears, and manipulations that reach far beyond her. She knows that if you discovered the full truth, the consequences would be immediate, sharp, and irreversible. Her silence is not only an attempt to hide shame but also a desperate bid to protect herself from the storm that the revelation will unleash. You must prepare your spirit, because the unveiling will test your strength. The divine is sending this message not to break you but to arm you, to ensure you stand firm when the shaking begins. This is not a truth that arrives softly, it will strike suddenly, opening your eyes to realities you never considered possible. Her actions are like a shadow creeping across the room, darkening the light until it forces you to notice what feels off. She has been careful, but heaven shows that her carefulness is fraying. The divine is orchestrating the moment when her silence cracks, and in that moment, her hidden truth will rush out like a flood you cannot stop. Type Amen 878 to receive the divine blessing. Understand that what shakes your soul is not merely that she is hiding a pregnancy, but why she is hiding it. The reason is tied to betrayal, to secrets buried in darkness, to actions taken without your knowledge that affect the path of your life. That is why the shock will come like a quake, for it strikes not from an enemy at a distance, but from someone known, someone close. You may already sense her unease, feel the tension in her presence, or notice the inconsistencies in her behavior. These are not random, they are warnings placed before you. The divine often whispers through discomfort, showing you signs so that you are not blindsided when the truth emerges. Every concealment is a borrowed time, and her borrowed time is coming to its end. She cannot escape the moment of unveiling, for heaven itself has decreed that the truth be exposed. When it does, you will feel the shaking in your heart, but you will also feel the strength of divine justice covering you. Type Amen 289 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be surprised when the revelation comes suddenly, like a curtain ripped open without warning. It will not give her time to prepare, nor will it give her the chance to soften the blow. What she hoped to control will slip from her hands, because heaven has decided that you must see the truth without her carefully crafted edits. When this unveiling occurs, do not see it only as betrayal, see it as liberation. For too long, she has held you in a space of false comfort, trying to keep you blind to the reality forming around her. The divine is ending that cycle, because you are not meant to walk in shadows but in truth. The reason she hides it is more than fear, it is tied to an agenda that would shift power away from you if you remained unaware. She carries not only life but also the evidence of decisions that should never have touched your destiny. And when you see the truth, it will hurt, but it will also release you from bonds that were designed to keep you small. Type Amen 187 to seal divine blessing. The truth she hides is about timing, about loyalty, and about deception that was never meant for your good. This is why the divine insists that you be awake, for her silence was meant to rob you of your strength by keeping you ignorant. Yet heaven has chosen to expose, not to leave you lost in the dark, but to bring light that will protect your journey. She is nervous, though she tries to mask it. The pressure of her secret presses against her every move, and the divine whispers that soon she will no longer be able to carry the burden. That moment will be both devastating and liberating, for it will cut through illusions and show you exactly what has been hidden. When that moment arrives, the weight of it will shake your soul. You may feel anger, sorrow, or disbelief, but do not let those emotions anchor you. Remember that heaven revealed it to protect you, not to destroy you, and though the shaking will be fierce, the purpose behind it is divine protection. Type Amen 656 to receive the divine blessing. Her silence is not silence at all, it is the loudest proof of her fear. She avoids the truth because she knows that once it is spoken, everything changes. But heaven reminds you that change is necessary, for you were never meant to be trapped in a life built on secrets. The child she carries is a symbol of decisions made in shadows. Each day she hides it, the divine presses harder on the veil, ensuring that no matter how far she runs, the truth will meet her. And when it meets her, it will meet you, because heaven will not allow you to remain blind in the face of something this important. Prepare your spirit now. Do not harden your heart, but strengthen it, because the revelation will come with force. And though it will shake you, it will also free you from illusions meant to bind your destiny. Type Amen 456 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, "The clock of heaven is moving quickly, and the silence of this woman cannot outpace divine timing." She thought she could carry her secret until it became invisible, until it faded into the noise of life. Yet heaven has determined that her secret will not die quietly, it will surface, and when it does, your soul will be shaken, but your eyes will finally see clearly. There is a strange heaviness that surrounds her, as if her spirit trembles every time she stands near you. She pretends all is well, but the burden she carries pulls at her like chains she cannot break. It is not just her body that is heavy, but her soul, for she knows the truth she conceals will have a storm attached to it. Heaven reveals that the reason she hides is not only about fear of shame, but fear of exposure. If you knew the full story behind her pregnancy, you would see connections that stretch into betrayal, disloyalty, and decisions that were designed to wound you in silence. That is why she masks it so fiercely, for once it is revealed, there will be no going back. Type Amen 787 to draw divine blessing. Her world is like a fragile wall of glass, one crack away from shattering into pieces. Every conversation she has with you is weighed down by carefulness, every glance hides a flicker of worry, and every smile is painted on top of a breaking spirit. She fears the exposure because she knows the truth will alter everything, not just for her, but for you as well. When heaven unveils this secret, the truth will feel like a lightning strike, sudden, bright, and impossible to ignore. It will expose layers of betrayal that will hurt, but it will also free you from illusions that try to blind you. Her pregnancy is not just a hidden life, it is the physical evidence of actions designed to leave you in confusion. And yet, you will not remain in confusion. Heaven says this revelation will come as both a shaking and a protection, a storm and a shield. Though your soul may quake with the weight of the truth, the divine will stand beside you, ensuring you rise even when the foundation beneath you feels broken. Type Amen 097 to receive the divine blessing. Her silence is costing her peace, and her silence is costing you clarity. Each day she hides it, the spiritual tension grows heavier, as if the atmosphere itself is calling for exposure. What she thought could be hidden forever is already on the edge of breaking open, for heaven does not allow secrets of this magnitude to remain buried. She has tried to distract, to shift attention, to control the narrative, but none of these tactics can outlast divine intervention. Heaven has already decided the curtain will fall, and when it does, the truth will not whisper, it will roar. You will see not only her hidden pregnancy but the deeper reason that has been shaking beneath the surface. Prepare yourself, for the unveiling will not be soft. It will pierce through her disguises and strike with clarity that cannot be denied. And when you stand in the middle of that revelation, your soul will tremble, but you will also rise stronger than ever before. Type Amen 198 to receive the divine blessing. The reason she conceals it is tied to more than her own choices, it is tied to people, influences, and powers that wanted you in the dark. By hiding her condition, she thought she could manipulate timing, control decisions, and hold the power in her hands. But heaven has taken the power from her, and the light of truth is on its way. There is no running from divine exposure. The spiritual realm is stirring, pressing against the veil she has pulled across her life. That veil is already thin, and when it tears, every hidden intention will fall out into the open. This is not to destroy you, it is to protect you. Heaven has no desire to see you lost in lies, so the secret that once had the power to break you will instead become the very truth that strengthens your path. The shaking may come like a storm, but after the storm, your destiny will stand clear and untouched by shadows. Type Amen 568 to seal your protection. Archangel Michael says, her fear is growing louder within her spirit. She knows she cannot hide forever, but she clings to the silence because the truth carries a cost she is not ready to face. And yet, heaven is moving faster than her silence, ensuring that the moment of exposure is not delayed much longer. You may notice the unease in her eyes, the hesitation in her words, the strange distance she tries to create. All of it is part of her attempt to shield herself from the storm she knows is coming. She hides because she fears what you will feel when the revelation falls, but heaven is making sure that your spirit is ready for it. The truth about her pregnancy is not just shocking, it is strategic. It ties into betrayal that runs deeper than words can capture, into choices made in the shadows that were meant to alter your destiny. But the divine will not let you walk in blindness, and soon, your eyes will be opened fully. Type Amen 098 to receive the divine blessing. There is a divine reason why this message has reached you now. Heaven is not warning you for later, it is preparing you for soon. The unveiling is closer than she realizes, and once it comes, you will see not only her hidden state but the reason that will shake your soul into a deeper awareness of the path you must take. Her pregnancy is both a physical reality and a spiritual message. It represents how lies can grow silently in the dark until they demand to be revealed. And when the time of revealing comes, nothing, no mask, no silence, no manipulation, can stop heaven from pulling back the veil. Do not let fear take you when the shaking begins. Instead, anchor yourself in the knowledge that heaven chose to reveal this for your good. Though her silence sought to wound you, divine truth will protect and elevate you beyond the trap. Type Amen 890 to claim divine elevation. Her world is about to collide with the truth. No matter how tightly she has held her secret, the divine has written a moment when the veil will fall, and that moment is nearly here. The shaking will come suddenly, and you must be ready to stand firm in the face of it. The reason she hides will cut deep, because it touches the core of trust. It is not simply that she is pregnant, it is who, how, and why that will shake your soul. The threads of deception connected to her silence run deep, and heaven says those threads are about to be snapped apart forever. Archangel Michael says, when the unveiling strikes, you may feel stunned, but do not remain in shock. Stand strong, for the shaking is part of your awakening. This truth is not the end, it is the key to the new chapter heaven has already prepared for you. Type Amen 985 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, her silence is like a storm cloud hanging over your path, heavy with rain but refusing to release. Every step she takes is weighed down by the growing truth inside her, and though she tries to act normal, her body and spirit reveal the burden she carries. Heaven declares that the day of release is closer than ever, and when it breaks, the rain of revelation will flood your life with truth that cannot be denied. She believes she can hide behind smiles, casual words, and carefully crafted actions, but none of these things will protect her from the piercing light of heaven. The divine is already unraveling her plans, pulling apart the threads of secrecy that she clings to. What she thought would remain hidden will instead become the loudest declaration of her actions, for heaven will not allow your life to be bound by her silence. The reason she hides will pierce you, not because you were unaware, but because betrayal always carries the deepest wound when it comes from someone close. This is why your soul will shake, because the truth strikes at the very heart of trust, loyalty, and connection. And yet, heaven says you will not fall when the shaking begins, for divine strength will hold you upright. Type Amen 1010 to draw divine strength. Her concealment is not accidental, it is intentional, woven with fear and calculation. She knows the truth will disrupt everything around her, so she clings to secrecy as if it could protect her from the consequences. But heaven has already decided that her silence will not be the final word, for the divine always writes the last chapter of every story. Each passing day increases the tension. The more she hides, the more fragile her mask becomes, and the closer the moment of unveiling draws. Heaven shows that her silence is like glass. It looks strong, but one strike of truth will shatter it into pieces that can never be put back together. This unveiling will come suddenly, like lightning splitting the night sky. She will not have time to control it, to explain it, or to soften it, because heaven's hand will ensure the truth is laid bare. And when that moment arrives, your soul will tremble, but the divine will steady you through it. Type Amen 878 to receive the divine blessing. The truth behind her pregnancy is tied to betrayal of a magnitude you never imagined. This is not just about a hidden condition, it is about choices, alliances, and actions that she wanted buried forever. The reason she conceals it is not just shame, but fear of how your eyes will see her when the truth is revealed. She fears exposure because she knows the truth holds the power to collapse everything she has tried to build. Her silence is her attempt at survival, but heaven has decreed that truth will always rise above silence. She cannot outrun the timing of the divine, and when the moment comes, all she has hidden will stand in the open. This is why you feel a heaviness around her presence, a tension that makes the air feel thick. Your spirit already knows what your eyes have not yet seen, and heaven is aligning the moment when both will meet. When it does, the shaking will be undeniable. Type Amen 098 to seal your readiness. Archangel Michael says, "Do not mistake the shaking for destruction, it is awakening." The truth she hides may rattle your spirit, but it will also unlock the clarity you need to see the road ahead. Her silence was meant to bind you, but her unveiling will instead free you. She thought she could carry her secret forever, but time is against her. Heaven is moving, pushing against the veil, and soon the cracks will widen into a flood. Once the flood comes, there will be no more pretending, for truth does not whisper, it roars. The child she carries is not just a hidden life, it is a symbol of hidden intentions, of betrayal growing silently until it can no longer be ignored. And when the truth comes forth, you will not only see her deception, but the deeper story of why she chose silence over honesty. That deeper story is what will shake your soul, because it ties into paths and powers you were never meant to face in blindness. Type Amen 790 to receive the divine blessing. Her fear is a prison, but it cannot stop the hand of heaven. She tries to move carefully, but the spiritual weight grows heavier with each day, pressing her toward exposure. Heaven has written this moment not to destroy her, but to protect you from being consumed by shadows. You may not realize how close the unveiling is, but heaven says it is at your doorstep. The season of silence is ending, and the season of truth is beginning. What once was hidden beneath layers of lies will stand clear before your eyes, and though your soul may tremble, your destiny will stand firm. This is not a random event, it is a divine intervention. Heaven chose this time, this season, this moment, because your path cannot move forward until the truth is revealed. The shaking will come, but after the shaking, clarity and freedom will rise. Type Amen 689 to claim divine freedom. Her silence is her shield, but heaven is breaking it piece by piece. The cracks are already showing in her behavior, her words, and her actions, and soon they will give way completely. She is trying to hold back the inevitable, but the divine has already declared the unveiling cannot be stopped. The reason she hides will make your spirit quake, because it is not only about her, it is about forces around her, influences behind her, and decisions tied to betrayal. She is not acting alone, she is entangled in a web that was designed to wound you. That is why the truth will feel heavy, because it will show you more than you expected. But do not fear the weight, for heaven has prepared your shoulders to carry it. Though it shakes your soul, it will not break you. Instead, it will sharpen your vision and strengthen your spirit to walk in truth. Type Amen 090 to receive the divine blessing. Archangel Michael says, "She will not confess freely, the divine will expose her. Her silence is too strong, her fear too great, but heaven is stronger than her concealment. When the appointed moment arrives, her secret will burst forth, whether she desires it or not. This is why heaven urges you to prepare, to anchor yourself before the storm. The shaking will not wait for your readiness, it will come like a sudden quake, turning silence into revelation. And though it may sting, it will also protect you from walking in lies any longer. The truth she hides will hurt, but it will also heal. For once the poison of deception is out in the open, it loses its power over your life. What she tried to bury will instead become the very thing that frees you. Type Amen 568 to claim divine healing. Archangel Michael says, "The moment of exposure is moving closer with every breath she takes." She cannot escape what has already been written in the heavens, and no silence will protect her when the truth demands to be heard. The secret she carries is not only within her body, it is stamped on her spirit, and heaven has decreed that you must see it for what it truly is. Her concealment is like a fragile mask painted over cracks. She believes her stillness can convince you, that her careful steps can keep you blind, but even the earth beneath her feet trembles with the weight of what she hides. The divine hand is pressing hard against the veil, and soon, what she fought to bury will rise with unstoppable force. You will feel the shaking deep in your soul, because this is no ordinary secret. The truth is bound to betrayal, and betrayal always cuts where trust once lived. That is why heaven is preparing you now, so that when the revelation hits, you will be shaken but not destroyed. Type Amen 292 to hold divine protection. She may smile, she may laugh, she may act as if nothing is unusual, but her spirit is restless. At night, her silence screams louder than her words ever could, because deep inside she knows the day of unveiling approaches. She cannot hide forever, for heaven's time cannot be delayed. Every whisper of her fear, every shift in her behavior, every subtle sign you have felt is heaven's way of preparing you. Do not ignore those signs, for they are fragments of the truth pressing against her silence. The cracks are widening, and soon they will break open into full revelation. This unveiling is not meant to crush you, it is meant to set you free. Heaven is choosing to reveal what she would never confess, because your destiny cannot be tied to shadows. And though your soul may tremble, your eyes will finally see. Her reason for hiding carries a depth of betrayal that will stun you. It is not only about the pregnancy itself but about the decisions, the alliances, and the secret connections tied to it. This is why the truth will not just surprise you, it will shake you, because it shows you what was happening while you trusted her presence. She hides because she fears your reaction. She hides because she knows exposure will end her control. And she hides because the truth is heavier than she can carry, heavier than her silence can protect. But heaven has already lifted the veil. The moment is already set, and the divine will not allow this deception to last. You will see, and when you see, you will be freed. Type Amen 1144 to stand in divine clarity. Archangel Michael says, she has built her world on fragile lies, but those lies are collapsing. The walls she constructed to protect herself are crumbling, and though she desperately tries to patch them, heaven is tearing them apart piece by piece. When the collapse comes, it will be sudden and unstoppable. Do not fear the collapse, for it is heaven's will. You were never meant to be held inside her web of silence, and the breaking of her walls will open a new path for you. Though it may hurt, it is a divine breaking that leads to divine freedom. Your soul will tremble, but it will not fall. Instead, the shaking will sharpen your vision, strengthen your spirit, and ignite a fire of truth within you. Heaven is already placing strength in your heart for the moment of revelation. The child she carries is both a secret and a symbol. It symbolizes decisions that were hidden from you, actions that were made in silence, and paths that twisted into betrayal. Her silence is an attempt to erase responsibility, but silence cannot erase truth. Heaven is making sure this truth cannot be buried. It is too important, too tied to your destiny, to remain concealed any longer. What she thought was hidden in darkness will be revealed in the light. This is not only about her, it is about the powers behind her, the influences around her, the plans that used her silence as a weapon. When the truth breaks open, you will see more than her, it will expose the hands that pulled her strings. And though your soul will shake, you will also understand the depth of heaven's protection over you. Type Amen 808 to activate divine wisdom. Archangel Michael says, the divine has already written this moment into your timeline. It cannot be delayed, it cannot be denied, and it cannot be stopped. The shaking is not a warning of destruction, it is the sign of transformation. She is afraid of the storm, but the storm is not coming to destroy you. It is coming to cleanse the air, to break the silence, to bring truth to a place where lies tried to live. And when it arrives, you will stand under the protection of heaven. Do not let fear consume you when her secret is revealed. Stand strong, for the divine has already placed a shield over your soul. The unveiling will hurt, but it will also heal, because it will free you from the weight of shadows. She has carried this secret like a weapon, believing it gave her power. But heaven says her weapon is about to shatter, for truth is the only power that lasts. What she thought would hold you down will instead lift you into a higher awareness of who you are and what is meant for your destiny. You may tremble when the revelation comes, but tremble only for a moment. For after the trembling, clarity will stand firm inside you. The shaking is not your end, it is your beginning. Her silence tried to blind you, but heaven's truth will open your eyes. And when your eyes open, no lie will ever be able to bind you again. Type Amen 333 to step into divine awakening.